Good morning, students. We'll continue with the chapter 8, International Economic Organization. In that next topic is that World Trade Organization. It was established in the year 1995 as a successor of a GATT. It is a new economical organization. This WTO will look after or a watchdog all the trade practice what is going on between the countries, among the countries. What they will see means what the trade practice in the field of goods and services, what their investment is going on, and also intellectual property rights. We'll see what is the intellectual, that copyright trade and all will come. No? That is called as intellectual property rights. So this WTO is a base of Arthur Dunkel draft. Arthur Dunkel only is created this a Dunkel draft. What is that Dunkel draft? In the sense, all the developed countries, rich countries started exploiting the working people. That means the work will be more, their salary will be less. That exploitation should be reduced. For that only he formulated Dunkel draft. That is called as a Dunkel draft. So on base of that only WTO was a look after what is trade practice, what they are doing. They giving how much the work is taken by the industry, that much salary is given or not. That also will be looked after by WTO. So this WTO yearly 2 years once all the member country will meet. A meeting will be a conference and so on held. In that meeting, on this conference, any discussion will be going on. Trade practice, any dispute problem between the countries there means like that. If then they'll settle the problem. First WTO conference held in the Singapore 1996. Then afterwards Argentina 2017. Next with the 12th Ministerial Conference, Kazakhstan 2020 they organized. They wanted next planned in the வருஷம் 2017 அடுத்து 2020 எங்க நடக்கணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒலிம்பிக் சொல்லிடுவாங்கல்ல கேம்ஸ் அடுத்த ஒலிம்பிக் அதே மாதிரி இந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் எங்க நடக்கணும் they only. So according to that 2020 Kazakhstan they wanted to have a meeting. Here you can see the building of WTO, World Trade Center. So this is a organized WTC headquarters. It is in the New York, USA. Twin Tower Devi. It was established 4th April 1973. It was destroyed by the September 2000 craft attack, terrorist attack. You all know that one. So this was the information. Next, object of a WTO, World Trade Organization. The main aim is to expand the international relationship. Restriction should be reduced like that. And also any trade, first one is reduction of a tariff and the other barriers. That means tax should be reduced. Reduce in this less should be. Any barrier, restriction or a tadangal that should be removed. And the second one is eliminate the discrimination. Rich country, poor country, developed country, developing country, underdeveloped. That and all should be removed. Next one, facilitate the highest standard. Improve the standard of living of a people. Developed country, developing country. Okay. Underdeveloped country, mostly they concentrate. And also optimum use of a world resources up to the extent maximum எந்த அளவுக்கு resource அந்த அளவுக்கு யூஸ் பண்ணும் and leaving the resources for the future generation, that also should be taken into consideration. Next, enable the LDC less developed country. A fair and the less developed country also should have a equal share in the international trade. அவங்களும் international trade அளவுக்கு ஈக்குவலா they also should develop. That should be there. Next, a linkage between the government trade policy and the environment. That means if its industry is going on, that industry what I am producing, product, anything, that should not be harmful for the environment. That policy also should be maintained. That should be constantly developed. Sustainable development. That means continuous, the same. In the version 8% I achieved. Next year on the 5%. That should not be there. Constant 8 na adutha 9 at least 8 aachum irukum. Adha meaning. Next, what will be the WTO agreement? Next point. WTO agreement, they can call it TRIP. That means Agreement on Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights. So this is called intellectual property rights. What and all will be there in the rights la edella irukum abdina. First one copyright. Copyright na eppadi po ஒரு song பண்ணனா CD ஆ இருக்கலாம். அந்த சாங் பிலாங் டு தட் கம்பெனி இல்லையா, அந்த காப்பிரைட்னு எழுதியிருக்கும், அதுதான் காப்பிரைட். இப்போ நான் எக்ஸாம்பிள் தான் சொல்கிறேன். இதே மாதிரி வந்து கம்பெனிஸ்க்கும் ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் இருக்கும், அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் இட் வில் காப்பிரைட் ஆஃப் தட் கம்பெனின்னா தட் ஷுட் பி அந்த கண்ட்ரிக்கு தான் அது இருக்கணும் அப்படின்ற மீனிங். நெக்ஸ்ட் ட்ரேட்மார்க். ட்ரேட்மார்க்னு யூ கேன் சி த எல்ஜி, அந்த கம்பெனியோட ட்ரேட் மார்க் வந்து எல்ஜி. அந்த எல்ஜி வந்து வேற யாரும் யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. அதே மாதிரி அமூல் த டேஸ்ட் ஆஃப் இந்தியா அப்படின்னு கீழே ஒரு கொட்டேஷன், அந்த கொட்டேஷன் வந்து மற்ற கண்ட்ரி யூஸ் பண்ணுறது, அதுதான் ட்ரேட்மார்க். நெக்ஸ்ட் பேட்டன்ட் ரைட்ஸ் அப்படின்னா வி கேன் சே டர்மரிக், மஞ்சள் வந்து இந்தியாவோட இட்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் இந்தியா ஒன்லி, தட் ப்ராடக்ட் இஸ் கம் ஃப்ரம் இந்தியா. தட் ஷுட் நாட் பி அதர் கண்ட்ரி ஷுட் நாட் திங்க் that it is their own country's product or their own country's from the generation they have took and came, like that should not be. So that is பாரம்பரியம் சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, அதுதான் நம்ம பாரம்பரியத்தில் ஒன்று, அது இந்தியாவோட பாரம்பரியம், அது நம்மளுக்கு உடையது அப்படின்னு சொல்ல வராங்க. அதுதான் பேட்டன்ட் ரைட். தட் ஷுட் பி பிலாங் டு அஸ். நோ ஒன் ஷுட் நாட் டேக் த ரைட் ஆஃப் தட் particular content. Or I am telling for the manjal na, may basmati rice we can say, other any mechanically missions they are created or rocket they are created, that technology should be belong to that person, and that patent right should be given to that person, that country. That is what. So these geographical indicators up to this area that belong to that country's border areas and this all. Trade secrets, industrial design. இப்போ ராயல் என்ஃபீல்டோட டிசைன்னா இதுதான். இட் ஷுட் ஹாவ் அ பர்ஃபெக்ட் சவுண்ட் அந்த வரணும். ஸோ சேம் பை இட் ஷுட் ஹாவ் அ சம் டிசைன், டேங்க் இந்த ஷேப்பில். தட் அதர் கம்பெனி ஷுட் நாட் இமிட்டேட், அதுதான் டிசைன். கண்ட்ரீஸ் ஆர் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியல் டிசைன் ஷுட் நாட் பி. ஸோ தட் இஸ் பிலாங் டு தட் ஒன். அதர் கம்பெனி ஷுட் நாட் காப்பி them. If they copy means they can claim. So this is what everything will be. This and all will be the condition in the TRIPC, Agreement of Trade Related Intellectual Property Rights. So like this in the trade rights, how many years they can have? இப்போ license 2-wheeler license I am having, that license should be expire ஒரு year இருக்கும். அதே மாதிரி in the trade marks rights and all, they have some years expiry date also they will give. First one is 20 years for the patent right, 50 years for the copyrights, 7 years for the trademark, 10 years for the layout design. இப்போ ஒரு they wanted to have a building construction in the outer area of your town, that area should have a park and also shop, and that facility and all should be there. Then only land plat should be done. That is a layout design date. That designs also they have so many years of rights. So that's what they are dealing, layout design they are dealing. Next we'll go for 7 years for the trademarks, 10 years for the layout design. So this trade depends on the LDC, that means lower developed countries. Mostly this less developed country or lower developed country, mostly they will depend upon the rich countries for the seeds, drugs and medicines. That's what they meant to drugs. Pesticides அப்படின்னா பூச்சிக்கொல்லி மருந்து. Okay, for agriculture purpose they wanted and do know that and all. For that material they always, this less developed country will depend upon the rich country only once. So this industry for seeds also, அதிகமாக விளைச்சல் கொடுக்குற seeds also they will be mostly they will depend upon. So இதை advantage எடுத்துட்டு அந்த rich country should not do anything harmful for the less that only is looked after by this WTO. Next we can see here they see IP, intellectual property. So because of this TRIP, that is trade agreement, trade related intellectual property rights, because of that only the IP that and all the copyright, trademark, patent அதெல்லாம் வந்து மற்ற கண்ட்ரிக்கு சண்டை வராம negotiably smooth relationship because of this trips only it can be achieved by the WTO for members. Smooth domestic policy was implemented by WTO. Next we'll go for the agreement of trade related investment measures, TRIPS, what and all they. So it was called for equal treatment for the both for the foreign countries, for the domestic national countries. If one country is launching a company in India means and the foreign country then அவங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப சலுகை கொடுக்கலாம்னு இருக்கக்கூடாது. Whatever the restriction given to the Indian company, that same restriction should be given to the foreign. That is what they are telling. Same thing they should be followed. And the restriction for the foreign investment, anything over restrict, that should be removed. Next, no restriction area of investment. In the area like India வந்து ட்ரேட் பண்ணோம்னா தமிழ்நாட்டில் தான் பண்ணணும், அசாமில் பண்ணக்கூடாது அப்படின்னலாம் இல்லாமல் restriction of a area should not be there. Next, local material, use of local material, anything if they allow only they can do. Without the permission we should not take. No mandatory export should be there. அதாவது condition should not be there. இதை export பண்ணணும் அப்பதான் நான் இதை வாங்கணும் should not be there. And also if for example you can say according to this farmers are fighting for the they should not accept this 3 trade policy because means usually இந்தியால அத்தியாவசிய பொருட்கள் அப்படின்னா எது டே டு டே நீட்ஸ் ஆஃப் எனி பீப்புள்ஸ், அரிசி பருப்பு அந்த நீட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்குது வந்து இட் ஷுட் நாட் பி எக்ஸ்போர்ட்டட். ஷார்ட்டேஜாக இருந்துச்சுன்னா அதெல்லாம் எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணக்கூடாது. அதெல்லாம் டே டு டே நீட்ஸ் ஆஃப் அ பீப்புள். அது எக்ஸ்போர்ட் ஸ்டார்டட் செல்லிங் டு அதர் கண்ட்ரினா லோக்கல் பீப்புள் டோன்ட் ஹாவ் it will be they not available for the token. நம்ம நாட்டுக்கே நம்ம ஜனங்களுக்கே இல்லாத பட்சத்தில் நீ எப்படி எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணுவேன்னு கொஸ்டின் வரும் இல்லையா? This was a condition, but this according to this trade policy what is implemented by India now means they can export this basic need of material to the other country. They can export, but it should be reached. அதாவது இந்த அத்தியாவசிய பொருட்கள் வந்து 10 எக்ஸாம்பிள் தான் சொல்கிறேன், 100 ஜனங்க வாங்கலாம் இல்லை 100 மூட்டை செல் ஆச்சு அப்படின்னா மட்டும்தான் ஸோ இது தே வில் கன்சிடர் ஆல் தி பீப்புள் ஆர் பையிங் வி ஷுட் நாட் எக்ஸ்போர்ட்னு அந்த எக்ஸ்டென்ட்டுக்கு வரும். இப்போது அதுவே ஷார்ட்டேஜ் ஆயிடுச்சுன்னு who will buy? Nobody will buy. அப்போ அந்த பட்சத்தில் என்ன பண்ணலாம், அந்த பொருட்களை தே வில் ஸ்டார்டட் எக்ஸ்போர்ட்டிங். அந்த ரூல் ஆல்சோ தேர் இன் த ட்ரேட் ஃப்ரீ ட்ரேட் இப்போ கொடுத்துருக்காங்களே 3 trade policy by Indian government. It is all in that rule. That's why farmers don't want this trade policy, mean they are fighting for it. That's what they are telling. No mandatory export and so அதுதான் அங்க சொல்ல வர்றது. Next, no restriction or respiratory of loyalty should be there. And no trade balance requirement. That means export it should be equal to buying and selling should be equal. It should not be exceeding the export. Next, we will go for the GATS, General Agreement of Trade Service. That means if I am doing a multilateral setup, rules it's there means that should be in the field of banking, insurance, transportation, communication, everything that field also should be followed. And in their whatever the rules followed by the other country, this country also should, that rules and regulations should be transparent to both the countries. Next, pacing out of a multi-fiber agreement. That means many countries joined together having a trade, the textile garment since 1975, India also with the other countries. To develop the textile, the industry only, it was adapted. It was running more than the period of 10 years they are following. It was more benefit to the Indian government. Next, Agreement of Agriculture, AOA. It means an important aspect of agreement. Any trade tax should be reduced for the goods of food items. And food items export பண்ணும்போது tax should be reduced. அதுதான் the meaning. Subsidy reduction அப்படின்னா சப்சிடினா சலுகைகள் கொடுக்கறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். Next வந்து dispute settlement. If it's member country because of trade anything problem means one country to other country, that dispute problem should be settled within 18 months. They have to settle. India has lost huge export of earning because of this dispute settlement. Next, function of a WTO. So according the main function should be based on that TRIPS நமக்கு படிச்சோம்ல agreement of a multilateral trade, according based on that only should be there. That means they want to have a smooth relationship between the member country to have a good multilateral among the countries. Many countries could trade which they should have. Tax should be reduced. That's what they wanted to tell. Next, they have to follow the rules and regulation of other country, and also dispute problem should be settled. If the WTO is taking any step, means we have to obey to that one. Next, cooperation with the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, and World Bank, both together they will be achieving the global economic development in the field of trade. Next, one major function of WTO, first a trade agreement between the country. Next, trade negotiate smooth a relationship in the industry or making the trade. Any problem dispute if it's there means that should be managed. In a policy, rules making policy, that means when you are transferring a currency to the other country's current converting means I should not keep on increase the rate of my country's currency. That should be avoided. Next, technical assistance training. இப்போ advanced technology mission வேற countryல இருந்து வாங்கினா அந்த training they have to give it freely. That should be there. Then cooperation in international organization, we have to keep the cooperation. Then so far, what is the achievement of WTO? So what they made it so much, what they have did it. First one, BOP, that is a balance of trade. One country to another country, they wanted to transfer the currency, that should be maintained. Next, a multilateral system among the many countries. They started investment. Or country வந்து நிறைய countries-லயும் manufacturing company or industry they can open. That is what. Next, trade policy mechanism or continue monitoring what and all the trade practicing among the country, that and all monitoring அப்படின்னா they are started look after it. They should not exploit the labors. That's what the main thing. Next, what will be the relationship between these? You can see the conference from where, that is 1996 ல இருந்து, which are the places they have conducted the conference. First conference Singapore, second Geneva, the year wise they given. You can see now in the 2020 12th conference only they are settled. So next we will go for the India and the WTO. What is the relationship between? So India is called as a MFN, that is most favorable nation. Like India also will be there for the WTO. Benefit from that WTO we have took many things. That means by reducing a tax in the raw materials, capital goods, import, export also. Because of this only we have started importing many goods to the other countries. Next, we have a bilateral trade agreement with the many countries we have started doing. And also we can say advancement in the technology we are buying for other country means that training will be given cheaper cost. And also any trade dispute with other country means it will quickly settle by the இந்தியாவுக்கு வந்து அவங்க சீக்கிரமா 18 monthக்குள்ளே முன்னாடியே they will settle the many problems. Next we'll go for the trade blocks. Trade block in the sense cover different kind of agreement between among the countries for the benefit good only. Free trade area we can say. இப்போ என்னன்னா இப்போ நம்ம இந்தியா பாகிஸ்தான் ஆர் ஸ்ரீலங்கா we have a trade block அப்படின்னா நம்ம கண்ட்ரிலேருந்து அந்த கண்ட்ரிக்கு ஒரு பொருளை வாங்குறதுன்னா நடுவில் ஒரு இப்போ வந்து நம்ம ஊர்லேயே வச்சுக்கோங்க டோல் ஃப்ரீனா நம்ம வண்டி இன்னொரு டிஸ்ட்ரிக்டில் ஒரு இன்னொரு ஸ்டேட்டில் போகணுன்னா we have to pay the tax. அதே மாதிரி ஒரு country to another country if you have to traveling means exporting goods na we have to pay the tax. If you are a friendly country na that tax should be reduced, as concession should be there, that should be have. So first one what it is there means a free trade area. Free trade area FTA means if you have a member cooperation between two countries should be there. So if you have a friendly relationship means you can take the free trade policy. That means you can say SAFT means South Asian free trade, Asia country continent kulliye. Next European EEFTA means European free trade, Europe country la full. Next custom union means this is a union of many countries. If you are friendly with the other country means instead of reducing the tax இல்ல zero tariff அப்படின்னா tax இல்லாம we have that like that the three countries Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg the மூணு countryல if you are doing any trade export import mean no need to pay the tax at all. Common market you can say. Next one is common market. That means group of a country join together geographically, join together doing the trade with the labor capital movement should be there. Will mean European Common Market, ECM you can say. Next economic union means the participant of a custom union. Countries among both many countries join together and doing a trade practice. Goods and services should be exporting from one country to the other country means the trade tax should be reduced. We can say European Economic Union we can say. So these are all about the WTO World Trade Organization. Next class we'll go and see the SAARC, South Asian for the regional cooperation. Thank you.